Hello crafty friend, welcome to Love Builds Up Cross. I'm Sasha, and if you're new to this channel, welcome home. This is the place where we build each other up whilst doing the things we love, and today that is Christmas card making. So we're going to be making these 3 cards, well, one actually in this video. There'll be a part 2, and we're going to be using the Tonic Studios Santa's Workshop trend. So let's get started. So these are all the things that we're going to need for our craft today, starting with the Tonic Stamp Club Shoot for the Stars set, but you can use any sort of stamp set that has stars, because I think for this card we're going to need some stars. And then I've got the Santa's Workshop glitters. I'm using the glitters from the trend called Christmas Magic, but you can use any glitter that you prefer. There are loads of glitters out there that are gorgeous. And then you're going to need your twine. I've gone for this red and white one. Once again, the choice is yours, and you're going to use either red or green embossing powder. And then we might need this iced ivy glitter pen, or any glitter pen that you have, some red line tape, and definitely you're going to need some patterned paper, especially for the second and third cards, and then some ice rink cardstock, which is part of the color trend, and some craft card, or if you already have some pre-made craft bases. So the measurements that we're going to need are 8.5 by 6 inches for the craft card, and then 7 by 5 inches for the ice rink card. And then we're just going to take our ice rink panel and start adding some red line tape so that we can add some glitter to it, just to the edges, to the 2 horizontal edges. That's where we're going to add the glitter. I think even though this paper has already got a nice metallic sheen to it, I think adding the glitter just really brings out that sheen even more, and you'll see what I mean in a bit when we actually add the glitter. And I should have just got tweezers, but as usual I try and do it with my nails and it ends up taking longer. So anyway, get your glitter and then just pour it over wherever the adhesive is, it will stick to it, and wherever there's no adhesive, it will just roll off. So don't be scared to pour that glitter, pour it, because more is definitely more when it comes to glitter. In my books anyway. So we're gonna go in with our bond folder and brandish that glitter in, just rub it in so that you get a really good coverage. You can use your fingers for this bit, but I don't like to get messy glitter fingers everywhere, so I use the bond folder because it's also plastic, it doesn't get much of the glitter stuck to it. And then you're just gonna do the other sides the exact same way and get your 2 sides all glittered up. So we're gonna go in and do the same thing, but then this time we're doing all 4 sides of that craft cardstock, and you're going to see just how beautiful this glitter is on the craft cardstock. Oh my goodness, I wish I could just cover this whole panel with this glitter. Just look at that, just wow. I love this glitter so much, especially on the craft card. So anyway, you're going to put your craft card aside and we're going to focus on the ice rink panel. So let's go in and start adding some stars. I've gone for the scattered stars. As you can see, there are different kinds there. I've just gone for this one because I don't even have to prep my surface. If it gets the embossing powder in other places, it doesn't matter because of this design. That's why I've gone for that. So I'm just adding my sugared strawberries sparkle embossing powder. This is such a gorgeous embossing powder. You can see that beautiful sparkle, and some of it does go on the glitter, but you can just rub it off just like that. And then we're embossing from beneath because we don't want the glitter to be lost in that sparkle embossing powder. So just go ahead and do that a couple more times until you've got that whole area covered, that whole top area covered. You see, that's actually the top of our card, not the bottom. So anyway, grab your twine and start measuring. We want this piece to be the one that we're going to use to tie. You'll see what I mean in a bit, because this is probably confusing, but I'm just sort of measuring about how long I want it to dangle, and then I'm going to give it a bit of an allowance because that's the piece I'm going to use to tie the whole tassel. You'll see what I mean in a bit. So once you've cut that piece, I'm just going to measure it and then use it to decide how long I want the rest. So that piece is 12.5 inches, and then the next one is going to be, I'm using 3 pieces because I want 3 dangly bits. So that next one is 10.5 inches, and then the one after that is going to be 9 inches. You don't have to use these measurements, and you don't have to have 3 dangly bits. You can do 2 if you want, but I thought 3 looked better. We're going to make the tassel now. What you need is a die, a circle die. I'm using one that's about 3 inches in diameter, and I'm just wrapping my twine around that die tightly as I can. You can even see the die is bending, but try not to break your dies, okay? And then I'm just going in under there and tying it. As you can see, I've left one extra long bit, and I keep trying my hardest to use the shorter side to tie that. You have to make the knots really tight, so make sure you take your time and tighten those knots. So I've gone round again, and then I'm going to tighten it even more. I'm double knotting everything, and then I'm going to cut and release the twine from the die, just like so, and that leaves you that dangly bit that you get in a tassel. I don't know what it's called, but that bit there. So you're going to pull out your long cord, which is what you're going to use to tie it up, and then just trim off that short bit because we can't blend it in. And now you're going to trim. What I wish I had done is done the bit where you this bit first. Yes, do this bit first and then trim it, because when you do this bit, it makes it easier to see what's not in place. So that bit, I'm just twisting a bit of twine around the top bit, and then just tying it again. Just, it's that simple. Then your tassel is pretty much done, and now you're going to trim it even some more, but I would hold off on the trimming until I've done this bit, then go in and trim everything once. So you've got your 3 tassels there. Of course, they're not perfect, but we're handmade, not Hallmark, okay? But look at how fun that is. So much fun. I really enjoyed making this card. So next, we're just going to choose a pattern from our paper pad, and I've gone for the star pattern because more stars on top of stars is just a starry kind of card. And you're going to take a piece of scrap cardstock and stick that paper on, because paper is not that strong, and then we're going to die cut the stars. For this part, you might want to be aware of how you're placing your stars, because this is the same panel that you're going to use for your third card, so make sure you're at least attempting to make a beautiful design. So anyway, now that you've die cut your stars, my camera actually went off. That camera is so much trouble, can't stand it. So I'm just going to explain to you what I've done to get to this point. So I took some liquid adhesive and just drew a line of glue, and then I stuck on my tassels, and then I went over all my stars with this glitter marker, but I did that before sticking them on, so make sure you do that before sticking them on so that they dry and you don't end up with green marks all over your card. And then I went in and I added more stars with the green marker up because I felt like the red was too much, there wasn't enough green. I then went ahead and added foam tape, just one layer of foam tape, everywhere in strips. Literally that whole card is covered with foam tape, and then I stuck the twine to the foam tape, and then I went in and added liquid glue on each and every strip of foam tape because I really wanted that panel well stuck down so that it doesn't move, because it's holding everything together. So make sure this panel is stuck down very, very well, and just give your card a bit of a jiggle, because how fun is that? I had explained when I thought that the camera was actually doing its job and filming, and it was not. That I would like to try stamping with the glitter marker, and it came out okay, except that you can't really see the upon and the A. So I decided to stamp on white cardstock and then stick it on the pattern paper instead, and just cut it out so that it leaves a bit of a border. So this is where I'll probably ruin it, because I just went in with this little scissors to cut out that sentiment. But if I had just used a trimmer, I would have saved myself the hassle of trying to fix the wonky edge, and I would have just had it straight. But I do shortcuts. Do you guys like take shortcuts as well? Because shortcuts are not good. They end up being the long way at the end of the day. So don't take shortcuts, okay? Anyway, the wonky sentiment is all cut out now, and I've had an idea to try and fix the damage. I'm taking these foam adhesive squares. These are from Tonic Studios, and what I'm doing is I'm going to try and add glitter to them and then stick the sentiments on top, because I feel like there's not enough of that beautiful gorgeous glitter. So any way that I can add more of the glitter, yay to me. Do you love glitter? I really do love glitter. So anyway, I'm keeping the pads together. I'm trying my best not to separate them, and then I'm just going to check how many I need to hold the sentiment. If you keep them together, then it will just look like one long piece. It won't look like foam pads. So I'm going around the edges. It doesn't really matter whether you just do the edges or you cover the whole thing with glitter. At the end of the day, it really didn't matter. So you might as well go in and just cover the whole thing with glitter, but try and keep those pads together, because when you stick your sentiment on, then it's going to hold everything together. So you can see there that the sentiment doesn't need 3, it needs about 2.5. So just do 2.5. All right, I've stuck my sentiment on, and now I'm going to take it. Actually needed 2, it didn't even need 2.5. And I'm going to stick down my sentiment. Make sure you do both of them, because I cut out that part, I don't know why. But do both of your little sentiment thingies and then stick them down and take them off again, because you always make mistakes, Sasha. Alright, our card is pretty much done. This was such a fun card. Like, look at that. I could not resist just playing some more with this card, because it's just so fun. But don't play too much, because you are going to send this out, right? Thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed to this channel. If you have not, then please make sure you subscribe below for more weekly creative card making videos. I will be uploading every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. And please also like and comment on this video, because it appeases the YouTube algorithm. Please check out www.lovebuildsupcrafts.com. That's where you'll find the blog, where I do post a bonus card every Saturday, and also you'll find links to all my socials, such as Instagram, where I do post different content as well. I try and spread out my content so that you're not seeing the same thing on all the platforms. So make sure you're checking out all the platforms, because you might miss something.